How's it going, guys? Levi here, and today we're finally going over my battle belt setup. It's been a long time coming, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, let's go ahead and start talking about the details of the belt. And might as well start off with the belt itself. So this is the HSGI Cobra Riggers belt. And it is called the Cobra Riggers belt because it has the Cobra buckle on it. And it's a very sturdy and secure as well as fast way of buckling up your belt. And the inside of the Riggers belt has Velcro. And you may notice this black part. This is called the HSGI Micro Grip Belt Panel. And basically just has rubber on the inside that really helps with gripping onto your pants. It's a really fast and pretty good, convenient way of making sure that this belt is not sliding up and down your waist when you have it clipped on. But there is Velcro on the inside, and makes it pretty easy for you to attach this. Or if you don't want to run this guy, if you want a more secure method that isn't going to move around as much, you can also buy this guy, which is the HSGI inner belt. Same thing, Velcro on the inside, and you weave this through your actual pant loop, and like I said, just a very secure way of attaching the belt to your pants. With this, you're not going to have any sliding whatsoever. It's going to stay in the same place, and it's not going to move around on you. That's really all there is to say about the belt itself. You can get an outer belt to weave this one through, and it makes it better for adjusting the belt around your waist. With that, you would have to use MOLLE webbing to attach your pouches and whatnot. I didn't go that route just because I wanted to save a little bit of money. And there's pros and cons either way. You just would have to do your own research and see what would work best for you. Next up, we have the Multi-Holsters 2-in-1 multi-holster, and it is called the 2-in-1 multi-holster for a reason, and that reason is because you can put the clips that attach it to the belt on the outside of the holster, or they use a separate clip for the outside, but you can put those outside clips on the outside and use it for inside the waistband carry to conceal. I usually don't do that because the handgun I'm running with the holster and the belt is just a little, it's big, it's really just not good for that. But I like the holster a lot. It's served me quite well, and it's definitely getting its use. So for the handgun that I'm running, this is the Walther PPQ M1 5-inch, and this is a this was a limited edition handgun that you can only get from gunbuyer.com or something like that, one of those websites. You can see the M1 paddle mag release here. No button or anything, you just push this down. The gun is unloaded in case you are a safety Nazi. On the pistol we are running the Streamlight TLR1 HL, which is a pretty good flashlight. I enjoyed a lot. Works well, and no complaints there. I also have the spring clip, or not a spring clip. I don't remember what this is called, but this just ensures that you have another form of retention that will keep it from getting snagged out of the holster by someone trying to fuck you up or something. So just more security there.
Shoots like a dream. There was a fly or two in there, but other than that, that's pretty damn good.
Next up we have our IFAK, and the pouch itself is an HSGI Pogi general purpose pouch that I went ahead and turned into an IFAK. I keep a pair of mechanics gloves stuck on the inside of the flap here. It's just a convenient spot for it. That's really all there is to it. And we will go ahead and talk about what is inside my IFAK at the very end of the video. Or at least the end of me talking. Next up we have a set of HSGI triple pistol taco mag pouches, followed by the double taco pistol mag pouches. And that's a mouthful, I probably messed it up, but regardless, 4 more magazines there. Of course, there's going to be 1 in the guns for a total of 5 15-round magazines. And then I also have the soft T tourniquet as well. That's the Gen 3, and I'll probably upgrade that eventually, but for now, that's what I'm stuck with. Won't be too much to upgrade, so I'll do that sooner rather than later. You may have noticed that there's no rifle mag pouches on here anywhere, and my philosophy for that is pretty much the same as it was for the cowboys back in the Wild West, where your belt really more kind of serves your handgun more than anything. And alternatively, for your rifle, I would be running a chest rig. You've probably, if you follow my channel, you may have seen my video on the Gadsden Dynamics Partisan chest rig, and I know throughout the whole video I was saying partisan wrong. But we're going to pretend I was saying it right. Anyways, I run the chest rig with my body armor for my rifle, and this is going to be my pistol setup. And that will allow me to be able to run just my handgun without a bunch of unnecessary pouches that I'm not using on it, on the battle belt. Or alternatively, I can run my rifle with my chest rig and not have all of this unnecessary stuff in the way for that. Alright, well, we've pretty much gone through everything there is to go through on the belt itself. So we'll go ahead and go through the IFAK while we have it here. So first off, we have the Fox Seal chest seal, and this is non-vented here, so I'll probably upgrade this eventually. But you can't wound pack the chest, so basically all you can really do is slap a chest seal on it, and that's what this is for here. Next up, we have a little goodie bag here, and this is full of some of your smaller stuff, like we have some small gauze for a minor injury. We have our gloves, as well as a little tube of Advil. But the most important part of this, along with the gloves I would say, is this lubricating jelly and this nasal pharyngeal airway. And what that is for treating someone who has a collapsed airway. You basically just stick this long tube down their nostril, and that gives them basically another airway to breathe through. And yeah, if you stop breathing, you kind of die, so good thing to have in your trauma kit. Next up, we have some trauma shears. These are made for cutting clothing, and they work pretty good at doing that. Next up, this is for basically covering your wound. Well, there's multiple uses for a combat dressing, but this is the Thin H bandage from H&H, and yeah, it's a combat dressing. If you want to know how to use this kind of stuff, I'll check out Skinny Medic on YouTube. I'm in no position to really tell you guys how to use this stuff, but you should have some sort of combat dressing inside your kit, whether it be one of these guys or an Israeli bandage, or so on, whatever works for you. Next up, for wound packing, we have the H&H flat compressed gauze. This is not a hemostatic agent, so this is simply just compressed gauze. Now, if you want a hemostatic agent, I also have the Celox Rapid Hemostatic Z-Fold gauze. So basically, it's the same thing as this, but it has a hemostatic agent inside of it. And a hemostatic agent basically promotes coagulation of the blood, or clotting basically, and it speeds up the process of, well, stopping the bleeding really, of having the blood coagulate. So have that for wound packing. That's probably the first thing I would use if someone needed to be treated for heavy bleeding. But our last thing is another hemostatic agent. This is the hemostatic granules, 35 grams, which is a pretty big pack, all things considered. And this is basically a raw form of what is woven into the gauze in this. So basically, what you would do is you would scoop out any blood that is inside the wound, if you can, pour this in there and apply pressure for 3 to 5 minutes, and hope that it stops the bleeding. If it doesn't, then you'll have to take it all out and probably wound pack it with some gauze or something. But yeah, that's pretty much that. Well, there's not really much else to talk about. That's the IFAK, all the pouches, tourniquet, and handgun, so on. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you some more clips of me running the battle belt and all that good stuff. But I'm done talking, so I would like to thank you all for watching, and I will go ahead and see you all later.
Need more practice.
Huh?
We need more practice.
Yep.